My name is Alexander McCobin, and I'm proud to be CEO of Conscious Capitalism, Inc., a nonprofit organization that supports a global community of business leaders dedicated to elevating humanity through their businesses. We provide business leaders with innovative and inspiring experiences designed to connect you with conscious businesses in the conscious capitalism community and provide insights and tools to help level up your operations and leadership. Collectively, the work of the conscious capitalism movement shows day in and day out that capitalism is a powerful force for good, especially when practiced consciously. Now, for members of the conscious capitalism community business, we recognize that it's practiced consciously when it follows a framework known as the four tenets. These four tenets were solidified in a book affectionately known as the Yellow Book in the network called Conscious Capitalism. You might see it behind me in my bookshelf here. But what we want to do with today's virtual gathering is provide an introduction into what this philosophy is. So if you haven't read the Yellow Book yet, or you're wondering whether you should, hopefully this is a great teaser to get you to do that and get engaged with the rest of the conscious capitalism movement. Higher purpose is the first tenet of the conscious capitalism philosophy. It is a company's why. Elevating humanity through business begins with knowing why your company exists, especially for a reason beyond just making a profit. It's not that profit is bad, profit is great, but it's a means to achieve a higher purpose to the business. It's not an end in and of it itself. Some examples from the conscious capitalism community are We Care for People So They Can Be Their Best by Hyatt. To help our clients and colleagues pursue their greatest potential, make a meaningful difference, and enjoy the journey from JVN Consulting. To create a meaningful energy future together, IGS Energy. And to inspire and empower others to spend life wisely from First United Bank. Studies show that a higher purpose can have powerful results for a business. Gallup has found that 90% of employees in a purpose-driven company report feeling engaged versus 32% in other companies. And a study at the Korn Ferry Institute found that companies focused their purpose and annual growth rates nearly 3 times the annual rate for their industry. The second tenet is stakeholder orientation. A business needs to create value with and for its various stakeholders, finding a win-win-win solution for all. These stakeholders include employees, customers, suppliers, investors, society, the environment, and it may be others that you and your business identifies as key to your operations of groups that you impact. In 2019, just last year, the Business Roundtable released a statement on the purpose of a corporation, which embraced this part of the conscious capitalism philosophy wholeheartedly. In their statement, they made clear commitments to their stakeholders, including delivering value to their stakeholders, investing in their employees, dealing fairly and ethically with their suppliers, supporting the communities they work within, generating long-term value for shareholders, and seeing all of their stakeholders as essential. And that's what stakeholder orientation is about. The third tenet is conscious leadership. Conscious leaders understand and embrace the higher purpose of their business and focus on creating value for and harmonizing the interests of all of their stakeholders. They recognize this integral role of culture and cultivating a conscious culture in their business, really looking to be servant leaders who display the qualities of strength, energy, and enthusiasm, along with long-term orientation, flexibility, and this might be where things get a little different, but love and care, emotional, systematic, and even spiritual intelligence of embodying the values of the company. That is the next level leadership that conscious capitalism brings to bear for businesses. And the fourth tenet is a conscious culture. This is the ethos, the principles, the practices, the everyday interactions, the underlying fabric of a business which permeates the atmosphere of the company, connecting all the stakeholders to each other and to the purpose, people, and processes that comprise the company. Every company has a culture, but not all companies intentionally develop their culture in a way that promotes their values and purpose and allows people to bring their full authentic selves to the table. And a quick way to think about what a conscious culture entails is to think of it as something that's tactile, that involves trust, accountability, caring, transparency, integrity, loyalty, and egalitarianism. In a Bain & Company study recently, they found that 70% of business leaders agree that culture provides the greatest source of competitive advantage for businesses. And so conscious capitalism emphasized bringing a conscious approach to that culture as a competitive advantage and as just the right thing to do. Now, it's important to realize what conscious capitalism is not as well. Conscious capitalism is not a call for you to sacrifice your profits or growth for the sake of doing good. We see them as integrally related to each other and dependent on each other. It's not the idea that you need to apologize for being in business. We believe business is fundamentally good, ethical, noble, and heroic. It's not a checklist of things to do, but rather it's a business strategy to weave into the DNA of your company at all levels. It's not a reflection of any political stance. This is apolitical and in many ways transpolitical. This is a unifying force that people can agree on and work together to make a better world with. It's not a marketing strategy or tool. It's not a form of corporate social responsibility that you tack on after everything else you do. And it's not a business strategy owned by the CEO alone or any individual in a company. It's something that to really succeed and propel the business forward needs to be embraced and practiced by every member of the organization and permeate throughout everything a company does.